All right, next let's go through 4 mobility exercises for the hips. So you may not be dancing like Shakira after this, but hopefully you'll feel a little bit better. So if you spend most of your day sitting, driving, these exercises should be very beneficial to you. All right, let's get started. The first one is the hip airplane, which sounds like a really cool, awesome airline, but it's just an exercise. So I'm going to plant my left foot, and what I want you to think about is your foot having 4 corners, 2 in the ball joint and 2 in the heel. And I'm gently going to start to lift my leg and balance. I'm gently going to come down until my hips are parallel, meaning so if I had like 2 flashlights on my hips or 2 laser pointers, they would be pointing towards the ground. So hands can be wherever you need, soft bend in the knee. Next step, I'm going to kind of open up like a can opener here. And, you know, balance is going to be a little bit challenged here, so definitely grab something if you need. So I'm just going to start rotating that hip out and rotating that hip back down. It helps me to kind of keep my gaze down, gently focused on one point. So we're going to do that about 5 or 10 times on each side. And remember, even monkeys fall from trees. So it is not a big deal if you fall. Gently just lift that leg back up, tilt open, and come back down. Let's do that on the other side. Give yourself a little time to walk out the hips. It works. So finding those 4 corners in that foot again, the big toe, the little toe ball joint, and those 4 corners should have an even amount of your weight. Finding that grounding through the foot. This is where all the magic happens, is in the feet. Good. Gently lifting that back leg. When you feel like you've got a good stance, gently start to twist and gently come down. So I'm really feeling a lot of work in my standing leg and the glute, which is the booty muscles, the bum muscles. Good. Drawing energy in through my core. Shoulders are down and relaxed. And don't worry about all of that stuff. It'll come with time, with practice. So, you know, having your hands out here, I don't just have an imaginary bench, just showing you that modifications are very in. Good. Let's do about 3 more. Woo. Good. 2. Good. Take a break if you need. Come right back up. And 1. Excellent. Walk that out. So give yourself some little hip circles here. And really I'm just kind of being goofy, drawing circles with my hips. So our next one involves the lunge. So I'm going to step 1 foot forward and 1 foot back and fall. So see, these things are even challenging for me, and you really have to do this with intention and to think about this. It's not just something that happens. It's a practice. Balance is practice. Strength is practice. It's not something that people just have naturally. I'm going to gently bend that front leg. I may feel a small stretch here, but it shouldn't be painful or anything too difficult. I'm going to take the hand of the leg that's back and lift up my arm like I have a question. Draw the breath in, and then gently turn towards that arm and gently come back. So what we're doing is kind of moving the hips in this open, whoo. See, these are challenging, these are difficult. So if this is too challenging, coming up on the knee, this isn't the primary focus right here. It is. We want to open our hips and gently bring them back down. What we're doing is creating the mobility so that you can then take a step. And I can't do that here, but what you would do in this lunge, you would twist and turn and then take a step forward. I'm just going to switch my legs for the purpose of this. If I've lost you, don't worry about it. Just stick with switching legs. Turn towards that side. Good. I'm going to do about 8 or 10 of these guys. So just pretend I'm taking big old steps forward. What we're doing is helping your hips learn to stabilize when you walk. Not like you're gonna walk like this, unless you wanted to. Good, so I'm gonna do one more on each side. Good, taking time to find that lunge, find that stability first, and then take your step. Beautiful. Let's move on. We are going to come to a lying down position. And so if you have any shoulder issues, please be mindful here and definitely take care of your body. We don't want to sink into those shoulders. We want to push up and away so that we're not crunching down on our shoulders. So hands on the hips, not to look cool, but to really kind of stay stable, meaning that our hips are stacked. So the tendency here is to kind of lean forward sometimes, lean backwards. We want to stay nice and stacked. And channel your inner Jane Fonda here, and we're going to lift and lower. And so, I know, you're totally thinking of the 70s, going back to some of the best leg warmer videos that we've had. But what I want you to do is keep this bottom leg down, because it'll want to roll with the movement here. But really what we're doing is just this subtle motion, but I'm sure as you're starting to feel in those areas, and kind of have it may be better to have your thumb forward so you can start to feel the muscles of your backside of your bum starting to take over and move through that hip. Good, let's do 3 more here. Good, 2, small but mighty movements. And 1, whew. Good, go ahead and move that, stretch it out a bit. Flip your burgers to the other side. All right. So finding a position that's most comfortable for you, take that thumb to that forward part, just a gentle bend in the knees. We're going to start to lift and lower. And again, it's not like a super huge motion here, but what we're doing is allowing the hip to move through its range of motion to the side. Most of our day, we're sitting, we're driving, so we're really kind of asking our hip to step out of the box and do something new and cool. Beautiful, halfway there. I'm starting to feel these muscles in the upper part of my hip, my backside. 2 more just like that. And 1. Awesome. Moving on to our last exercise now is the bridge. So knees are in line with hips. Heels are in line with the hips. So my knees aren't out, they're not resting on each other, they're just nice and in line with my hips. You get to lay down. How awesome is this? So hands can be at the side. Whatever you do, gently draw the shoulders down away from the ears so that we're not up and super scrunchy. So gently press through all 4 corners of those feet, and we're going to lift our hips up. And what I want you to think about, if you start to, you should be able to grab your bottom part of your leg, and if that feels rock solid, like it's contracting, come back down a little bit. Most of the work is going to be in the backside, in the bum. As a matter of fact, all of the work is going to be there. We don't want these to be helping out, so try not to clench and contract your hamstrings, that back part of the thigh. Instead, we're going to lift by pressing through the feet so that hips are in line with the shoulders. So we don't want to go too far up where we're starting to contort and compete for Cirque du Soleil. So knees, hips, and shoulders are right in line. And then gently roll down. As soon as that bum hits the ground, press back up. Most of that contraction, again, in the back side. Beautiful. Good, again, gently tuck your chin. Keep that jaw nice and relaxed. Let's do 4 more. 3. Good, 2. And 1. Beautiful. Whenever you're done with an exercise where you're on your back, roll to the side and gently press yourself up. That will keep your back nice and safe. There are your 4 mobility hip drills. A great way to do that is just go through that circuit about 3 or 4 times, and yeah, you'll master those in no time. All right, thanks.